Okay, we're live. Welcome to the channel. We're going to play some Elite Dangerous today. Short stream before work. Alright, what am I missing? I need to bring it up on my phone. And I need to bring up the game as well. Just do both at once. I can multitask. I have skills. Like everyone, I multitask poorly, but it doesn't mean I can't do it. There we go. Alright, game is coming up. The very, like, you log into the game and on the launcher thing is literally got Crate Mark II upgraded laser mining jump starter. Buy now for 25,000 arcs. It's like they're getting better at releasing stuff that coincides with events that they're doing. Alright, so this time they got this massive mining event. Everyone's making huge amounts of money from mining platinum. And yeah, and so they released a mining ship. It's like, god damn it, like, do people actually have that much spare money that they'll just buy the mining ship for actual cash? Alright. Before I forget, let's switch over so we're actually seeing the game. It's not even that good of a mining build. I've seen someone do a review on it. And they had like 2 medium mining lasers. Which I mean, it'll get the job done, but...
All systems prepared.
Alright, cool. There's a closer place around here I can get liquid oxygen. Let's find out. Anara Commodities. I visit often, apparently. This is true. Liquid oxygen. And where are we? HIP 84600. I forget my system names. Whoops. Oh, over here. What? Why is you? No. Why is my... Am I having weird shit going on my keyboard entry again? Okay, I'm gonna close voice attack. Last time this happened, I felt like I might have been voice attacked. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Alright, we're going to run it without voice attack today because that annoys me that it's doing that. Johnson's Landing, Cahill Mines, 82 light years away. Alright. El Mundo, hey, how's things going? I am just working on the ground port today. The idea is that it will give me access to CMM composites. But unfortunately, it actually takes a bit of work. Even a tier 1 ground port is, or tier 3 ground port, not tier 1. A tier 3 ground port is like, pop up. Your brain is kind of melty at the moment, so relaxing. That's nice. Alright. I'll be back in a second. My dog is going to bark very shrilly until I let her outside. That's not what you want. Okay. No? Okay. Well, get back here then. Come on. Okay, that's not what she wanted. She wanted attention, but she decided to bark by the door. She decided to... Come here. I guess she wants attention, but she decided to bark by the door in order to make her message confusing. Alright, you get a pat. There you go. Alright. Back to the game. So here's our predatory. Seriously, dog. Come in then. It does have a bed. Not a huge bed, sort of like, you know, a close-shaped bed. I was trying to make it look a little older, but the options of doing that are very limited with Vroid. So this is kind of what I ended up with. Not that I dislike it or anything. I do quite like the bottle. It's just, you know. Alright. There we go. I seem to have given the dogs enough pets that she's set aside for the moment. Now she's gone off to sniff around and see if she can find anything to eat. Well, she's half Labrador and has the Labrador food motivations. Alright, Clark Foundry, here we go. So I've been working on this a little bit over the last couple of days. Trying to get it, you know, up and running. So that when I build something out here, I don't have to jump like 5 jumps one way and 6 jumps going back to get CMM composites. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, here we go. Oh, the auto docking is so slow. I try to manually dock with this ship, and how much it drifts is just such a pain. Boom, 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 boom. So this is a construction site for a tier 3 starport. I was hoping it was going to be about the same to build as a tier 3 sort of space, you know, outpost. But it's not. Seems like it might be close to double the amount of materials required. So for a tier 3 outpost, if you hand in, it'd be about 3%. Here I get between 1 and 2. So I got 2 that time. It's not always 2%. I feel like it's about 1.7% or 1.8% or something like that per hand in. Alright, I know we need liquid oxygen. Let's go visit an asteroid base. That sounds like fun. First, I'm going to take a snip of the materials required. And there's still a reasonable amount, especially CMM composites, which is annoying because it means I have to go relatively far to get CMM composites to fix the problem of having to go relatively far to get CMM composites. All right. We have the snip. And we are going to go to visit Cahill Mines. It's a couple of jumps away. All right, off we go. So the idea is to set myself up a little refinery hub up here that gives me everything I need for building stuff. Everything I need for the big volume stuff for building space stations and stuff, like the steel, the titanium, the aluminium, the CMM composites. Steel, titanium, and aluminium are all sorted by the space station we have up here. It's just getting the ground base for the CMM composites now. What are you chewing on, Bob? Alright. Make sure you don't chew into the power cord for the heater. Alright. Cahill Mines is a cool sounding name for an asteroid base. I must admit.
System scan complete.
All right.
Frameshift drive charging.
Off we go. I'm guessing this is a colonized system. We'll take a little peek when we get here. Give a nod in the direction of the commander who colonized it. Noon Horizons, Houston Landing, Berry Town, Cahill Mines, there we go. We should get away from the sun. As we head towards Cahill Mines, let's take a little look at this system. Commander... I wanted to read that as Commander Jin, like a genie, but it's not quite the right spelling. Jilin. Looks like they've got a bunch of space installations. Outpost, so I'm guessing that was for the primary port. More space installations. Oh, another outpost. And an asteroid base. Oh. And 3 things built here, 1 built there. They've been doing a bit of work. This commander has put in effort. Respect. And of course we don't even know if that's in addition to other systems that may have colonized as well. But either way, I respect the grind. I respect the grind, Commander Julian. I can't pronounce the name. I respect the grind the commander has put into this. That is a huge ring for such a small gas giant. Look at that. That is ginormous. Making all the other gas giants jealous. I've yet to finish building an asteroid base. I really do need to get onto that. I like how it's like a little brightly glowing dot in the asteroid belt as well. That's kind of cool. Oh, grab a drink while it's docking. We do have a ice asteroid base that's 25% built in the first system we colonized, so we'll go back and finish that off at some point. That would be that'd be cool to finish. I know what you're thinking, cool, ice asteroid base, funny pun, but it wasn't really deliberate. Asteroid bases, no matter what type, are just very fun. Like, if nothing else, I'm fond of the colonization feature just because it means that we're getting a hell of a lot more of these being built and relatively close to the bubble as well. All right, it's down towards the limit now. Give me. All right. Welcome to Cahill Mines. What are you after? Is there anything we need besides liquid oxygen? Let's take a look. We need liquid oxygen. Ignore the actual mission stuff because I may have claimed another system. Even though I said I wasn't going to. So, we do need surface stabilizers. 634. Alright, come back for that. How much oxygen do they have? Not a lot. Alright. Galaxy map. We'll just set that. That's an orbit right above the Ooh, don't bang on the door. Jesus. The auto docking computer worries me sometimes. And you just fly out into a beautiful asteroid field. It's a fun little actual space fact for people. Turns out that NASA have sent space probes through asteroid fields. Like I think one of the ones that's heading out of the system, out of the solar system, and they don't even concern themselves with it because it turns out an asteroid field in space, all the asteroids are like kilometers apart, basically. The chances of hitting one of them is not particularly high at all. So all those like movies you've seen like Star Wars where they're like weaving in and out of asteroids to like avoid fire and stuff, apparently it just doesn't really work like that. Or it wouldn't really work like that, I suppose. That was probably unnecessary, but oh well. All right, we're nearly back.
Frameshift drive charging.
Three, two, one. All right. Look at this little NOS. Speed. Ah, too much speed. Around we go. Anyway. That's what we want. Clock Foundry. Boom, boom, boom. So I don't know what my plan is with this system once I get this refinery set up. I'll probably have to do some more development here. Such a nice big system. And these planets are close together. We don't want to come directly down on top. This angle should be fine, hopefully.
Orbital flight engaged.
There we go. Okay. Well, looks like a little bit of a flight to get back to the ground. So in doing that, let's take a look at the system. So it's a very good system for building refinery stuff because you got a ton of rocky planets, right? Like this one over here, rocky planet. Interesting looking rocky world, all the sulfur stuff on it, but oh, doesn't want to play. There we go. Rocky world, rocky world, rocky world. All the rocky worlds will default to having a refinery type economy. I don't know what these ones are as well. High metal content worlds. So industry type economy. But if you build something in orbit around it, I think it's got to be an asteroid base, which default to extraction type. So it would be interesting to see. Would be interesting to build a an asteroid base in one of these. What rings do we have here? Rocky, Middle Rich. Probably this one. Middle Rich is more interesting than Rocky. Anyway, we should check on our flight progress because, well, we could build an asteroid base in the Middle Rich ring and then see what we can do with it by doing stuff with ground hubs and stuff underneath. I have to figure out what type of economy would go well, sort of with extraction one. And at some point, maybe we'll even build a tier 3 base here, tier 3 starport. At some point. Boom, 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 boom. Basically 4 trips to get all the liquid oxygen. If the supply of that asteroid base even holds up, because I mean, we took 2/3 of it in one trip. We can go back there though. If it's a bit short, we can just top up on surface stabilizers.
Landing gear deployed.
Boom, 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 boom.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
And of course, the hope is all this stuff gets a fair bit easier in like a month or two with the release of the Panther Clipper. And maybe we can haul like 900, 1,000 materials all at once. Alright. Come on. I hate it when it doesn't show up. Maybe we still have it saved. Oh, look at that, we do. Off we go.
Ship released. Engines engaged.
To trade this poor asteroid base out of all its oxygen supplies. boom, 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 boom. We'll just give a bit of juice to get around the planets. There we go. Off we go.
Frameshift drive charging.
It looks like I just got confirmation that sorry, lost my train of thought. Confirmation that the Yu-Gi-Oh tournament I've entered is going ahead this coming weekend. At this point. So that works out for me. I won't be streaming this coming Saturday because it's my partner's birthday. So, you know, I will be spending the morning cuddling up in bed with her and then helping her cook some nice stuff afterwards. And then looks like it's on Sunday, it should be the Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. So that's cool. And I'm hearing rumors that Steam have just got hit by a massive data breach. What? That's interesting. Apparently denying it happened, but probably best practice to maps and make sure your stuff is secure. Huh. Might have to change my Steam passwords, I guess. Alright. Hey Hill Mines, have you restored all your oxygen levels yet? Mining bases are very, very cool. Oh, asteroid bases. Mining bases, Jesus. Alright. Eventually, I want one in every system I have. String your asteroid bases, connecting all my systems together. I actually think every system I have does have the potential to have an asteroid base in it. So. Hello, Cahill Mines.
Gutamaya, Whiskey, Yankee, November. Welcome to the station, Commander. Commencement docking procedures. Permission granted. Land on designated pad number 24. You're approved for automated docking sequence.
So I think they all do. All my systems. So this one definitely does, because the reason I went to put a claim in on this one is because it has a spectacularly pretty gas giant with a ring around it, I think. This one. Yes. So, hey, look at that. Isn't that the prettiest gas giant you've ever seen? Look at that purple in there. Pretty sure they all do. Alright.
Contact confirmed. Engaging docking restraints. Enjoy your stay with us.
Alright. Have we restocked our liquid oxygen? Not really. Okay. That's fine.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
We stock up on surface stabilizers. Go ahead then. We still have a full load of stuff to take back.
Landing gear retracted.
Docking computer is doing its usual drunk maneuvering. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, don't let your docking computer drink and fly. Boom, 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 boom.
All clear. Safe travels, Commander.
Frameshift drive charging.
Off we go. Look at the little boost around the... There we go.
Frameshift drive charging.
Just boost around the sun and on our way. Okay.
Frameshift drive charging.
Ooh, we have our once per stream cheap viewers person. Who none of you will have seen that pop up because it was restricted. I will have to ban them in a second, just so Twitch gets the you know, more bans on that account, so they know to like do a universal ban on them, I guess. Where are we? And done. A little bit of NOS. Drop out. A little bit. No, it's still too late. Still too late on the dropout. So the more modern ships, right, like the Mandalay, the Type 8, all those types of ships that have that were built around the idea of the frame shift overcharge, they seem to slow down a lot quicker when you drop out. So I'm hoping that that's going to be the case for the Panther Clipper as well. But there could be some aspect to do with the mass of the ship as well. So I wouldn't be entirely surprised if I had the same problem with the Panther when it shows up. But hopefully not. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed that it slows down quite quickly when you drop off the overcharge. But I guess we probably won't know until the Elite Dangerous partners get their hands on it, you know, like a week or two early, and test it out. I wonder what would happen if you took a system like this and just built it out to the nth degree. How much money would you make off it? This isn't really an activity you do at the moment for making money though. The payout, weekly payout, is not very commensurate with the effort involved, let's just say. Oh, come on. Look at the angle I was coming in on. That should have been fine. So my last payout for being the owner of something like 7 systems was 471,000 credits. Now, the systems aren't super hugely developed. Some of them only have an outpost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 systems at the time. I guess I'm sure I have 7 now, not including the one I'm working on. Yeah, 7. So I guess this one wasn't complete at the time. Some people might be thinking, why so many systems? And the answer is because I can. Maha. There is also a practical aspect to having a lot of systems if you want to build a lot of stuff, right? Because as you build up each system, the costs, like not the delivery costs, but the construction point costs increase. So like it's 6 tier 3 construction points to build like a tier 3 spaceport. Answering another question is usually considered to be rude, but alright. Does that apply when I'm talking to myself? Or are you going to ask me a question? Yes. Exactly, why not? But there is like this issue, right? Like, so if I go here and I go system map, right? This station here doesn't count towards this because it's a primary port. The primary port doesn't count. But let's say I was to build an asteroid base here, or here or somewhere, right? That would count as one tier 2 or tier 3 starport, right? And then I was to go, like, say, here. And I said I wanted to build an Orbis. Right? It would cost me 6 tier 3 construction points. As soon as that Orbis is started construction, it counts as the second high tier, like, construction in your system. So the things that count are asteroid bases, Coriolis, the tier 3 starports, and tier 3 ground bases. Right? As soon as that happens, then the construction points basically double for the next one, right? So instead of 6, if I want to build another tier 3, I'd have to pay 12, right? And it's not quite as bad for a tier 2. So like a Coriolis currently costs 3, but it would go up to 5. And then if you want to build another one after that, then the tier 3 thing would go up to 18 construction points, tier 3 construction. So it ramps up the construction points required. And that's apparently quite deliberate. It's not a bug or anything. So they make it harder and harder to build up like big things in the system. So there is, if you're just trying to get as much construction done as possible, there's probably actually some sense to saying like building 2 big things after your primary port and then moving on to another system. All right. You can, of course, build all the like tier 1 stuff and like probably like tier 2 space installations and all that kind of stuff as much as you want without having that problem.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
All right. I'm just going to head to Donuts Gateway up here. And I know that's not exactly how it's pronounced, but you know. And grab a load of steel to bring back down. Okay. Should be far enough off the planet's surface. And X marks the spot.
Krugermeyer, Whiskey Yankee, November. We've prepared a landing pad for your arrival, Commander. Welcome to our station. Access
Welcome to our station.
for landing on docking bay 090.
Should say welcome to your station.
Approach, Commander.
I built the damn thing. Well, me and Ed built the damn thing, I suppose I should say. A lot of very welcome help from Ed in building all my stuff. And vice versa. There is something you can look at when you're docked, I think, that tells you how much everyone contributed.
Landing gear deployed.
Boom, 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 boom. I actually want to find that. Let's see what that.
Landing complete. Clear to disembark.
So, how many units people, different commanders contributed? I think it's something to do with. I don't actually know where it is. Local news. Ah. Oh, hey. This doesn't seem right. Yeah, but I mean, that's still like all that doesn't seem right at all, actually, because I feel like this is to all construction in the system, and so that just seems because when you think about it, you chipped in a lot to help build this station, but 9,000 for me to all contributions in the system. Hold up. There's this and my refinery hub. Those two by themselves would be over 9,000. Plus, I delivered a lot of stuff to this station as well. And something like something feels a bit weird there. your count feels like it's accurate, but my count feels like it's way undervalued. Yeah, well. How are you today, anyway?
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Yeah, but all the records. But if they were dropping the records, no, it just feels bugged. I think. I'm working on building a ground base at the moment, a tier 1 ground port. So I'm trying to create my own little refinery sort of hub out here. So this is a refinery market, right? Still don't feel like playing Elite, but over. Yeah, I'm building a ground port right at the moment. Tier 1 ground port. So there was a bug with the ground ports where they weren't picking up economies properly, but supposedly that's been fixed. So if I build a ground port here, it's technically a colony type ground port, right? So I just did that so it would pick up the refinery aspect. I'll show you in a second, this area. I can show you right here. So Mihilo platform down here on the ground is a refinery hub. This is a rocky planet, so it does refinery by default. And the planetary construction site down here is just a colony type tier 1 port, so it should pick up the refinery economy once it's built. That's basically I want a local supply of CMM composites. That's the idea. So this station up here supplies steel, titanium, and aluminium and whatnot. So and it still doesn't feel like playing Elite. Been over a week now. Yeah, you had a good week off work, and then you spent all that time basically hauling stuff in Elite. So I'm not surprised. And that was like right on the back of building a tier 3 starport. How's Portal 2 going though? Lock off auto mod. You will haul for people in the series? I mean, I would never. I would never, you know, reject someone offering to come and haul stuff. That is always welcome, but never expected. But at the same time, I'm not working on anything particularly urgent. I mean, trying to say, I did haul a lot, but I did not expect to lose all interest in Elite altogether. Like, I get not wanting to do hauling, but nothing at all. You probably just need a break.
Landing gear deployed.
No in-ship erotic roleplay. Wow. Break has been going on for 8 days now. Fair enough.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Alright. 904 steel left.
Landing gear retracted. Ship released. Engines engaged.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I mean,
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3.
I imagine you'll want to come back to Elite Dangerous at some point. You got a lot invested in the game, but you know, the hauling has been a little atrocious. So enjoying Portal though. Been crunching the community chambers. Some are fun, some are beyond broken, some are over-engineered. Yeah, they are fun. My brain wasn't working the other day when we were playing Portal though, I swear it. Like I was just... Especially that solo map. Was it Dave, I think? Might be able to jump out here. Yeah. Solo map I played at the end of the stream. Jesus, my brain wasn't working on that one.
Undermire, Whiskey Yankee, November. Greetings, Commander. Please approach the station at a safe speed and be mindful of...
You missed the last chamber, I think, in that, which was
Set down on landing pad 02.
very interesting. Yeah. I just felt like you were a bit more on the ball that day, and like I was always just lagging behind just a little bit. And usually it's a bit more 50-50 with Portal. Yeah, I also think maybe I was just, I don't know what it was that was making me feel really tired and really crook earlier in that week, but I may have still been a bit under... Yeah, halfway, yeah.
Landing gear deployed.
Yeah, my brain wasn't working for that one either.
Landing complete. Dispatching ground crew.
Alright. his last chamber, I would think. The last bit, like, one bit was just me just not tweaking onto something I should have tweaked onto almost immediately. And then his last chamber was a bit quite weird. It had like a anti-grav block, and you had to send it up to a certain spot in order to like switch back to your portal gun and then switch back to it was, yeah, the last chamber was a bit like, it was clever, but it wasn't
At maximum capacity.
it wasn't obvious what you had to do, I guess, right? Like, you had to spend a bit of time just standing there and going like, well, what am I trying to do in this chamber? Where am I trying to even go? And yeah, if my brain had been a bit more functional that day, I probably would have figured it out a fair bit quicker. But even then, I think I still would have been there for a little bit of time going, well, what am I doing here? In this particular chamber, what's the goal? What am I trying to figure out?
Ship detach complete. Watch for oncoming traffic when passing through the airlock.
It is interesting because I haven't played a lot of the solo player portal though. So like we keep finding stuff I didn't even know was a thing. Like the anti-gravity gun and anti-gravity blocks that go upwards when released, and those switches that we had on that level where you had to trigger them by putting a portal on the switch. So the community levels are quite fun for that kind of stuff.
You are clear of the station. Have a safe trip, Commander.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Mm.
Orbital flight engaged.
Well, I mean, the good news is if you ever do decide to come back to Elite and want to do more system, development, I should, fingers crossed, have a supply of CMM composites. I'm going to be quite peeved off if it turns out that this is still bugged and this does not work the way I expect. As I was saying earlier in the stream, this is like it's a tier 3 ground base, but it's probably close to twice as much work as an outpost. Where am I at? This is HIP 84600. I'll put the system name in the chat in a sec. I'll be lazy about it, actually. I'll do it this way. If you want to come and help deliver, that would be fantastic and greatly appreciated, but it is, of course, not expected.
Landing gear deployed.
it's still, I mean, it's 72% done. There's still quite a bit of stuff to go. Yeah, I do agree with the construction hauling is miles better than the trade hauling, and I can understand the getting worn out on activities. So like we're 72% done on this. We've still got like 6,366 human bosses to go. And a bunch of other stuff.
Landing gear retracted. Ship released. Engines engaged.
All right. Yeah, they do need to do something like... They need to do something about the construction hauling burnout, I think. And again, as we've said for a long time, just having NPC haulers you can hire would be great. What was the name of the system that had Cahill mines in it? Let's go see if they've stocked up on liquid oxygen again yet. They probably haven't, but... I mean, I feel like the Panther Clipper is going to help a bit, but provided it does have a significant increase in cargo capacity, which I'm fairly sure it is going to. Maybe not as... Not as significant as some people are hoping, maybe, but I think it will still be a noticeable improvement. But yeah, absolutely. Like, it's at the point now where people have multiple systems, you know, there. I don't really need to do that, do I? I can just jump from here. And they're trying to build them up, and yeah, they do need to do something. But I suspect, and I mean, don't quote me on this, but I suspect that their solution is going to be the Vanguards thing that's coming in like a month or two. And they'll be like, just join a Vanguard and then post a quest to your Vanguard to build up a construction site for you. But that's still requiring players to haul, so it doesn't resolve the overall burnout from the game issue that's likely to occur.
Frameshift drive charging.
And we haven't received any more information on Vanguard, so that's just all speculation on my behalf. Right, like I do remember them saying that you should be able to give like requests to your Vanguard to do stuff. So I'm just going to assume that one of those will be help me build this construction in my system. Alright, asteroid base, here we go. Yeah, there is that, right? Like, you know. And like people in Vanguards might be keen to do it for a little bit. But you can't just keep like being like, I want to build 10 systems out to the max. I'll get my Vanguard peeps to do it for me. Even if you were a member of a big Vanguard, I mean, people are eventually going to be like, no, cut it out. Yeah, I feel that as well. Alright, it's... When you join a big group that you don't really know many people in, or no one in, you tend to get, I don't know, you risk those, like, getting caught up in those stupid group dramas and group politics and stuff. And sometimes it can turn people off a game when that happens. Alright. I hope they've restocked on various bits and pieces. Liquid oxygen mostly. Oh. I was a little too trigger happy there. Alright.
Frameshift drive charging. 3, 2, 1. Engage.
There we go.
Gutamaya, Whiskey, Yankee, November. Good to see you, Commander. Throttle down and commence with docking. Docking request approved. Set course for landing pad 2-4. Automated approach engaged.
Bum 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 bum. I've never heard of watching in another world with my smartphone. Fearin's one of these ones I need to go back and try to rewatch again. Like I watched it when it first came out, but I got a couple of episodes into it and I was finding it way too slow paced. And now I keep seeing all these clips of these like cool fight scenes from later on that I never got to because I like gave up on it. So I need to go back and rewatch it again. But I've never heard of watching in another world with my smartphone, so I'll have to check that one out.
Landing gear deployed.
It's silly, I get annoyed a bit at it, but like, yeah, I mean, I'm like that with some animes. I like get halfway through it and I'm like, it's not as it's not as good as I thought it was gonna be. But I'm halfway through it now. I might as well at least finish this season. All right. liquid oxygen, 408. Need to go and check how much I need of various things. I'm not gonna know. I know I need all that liquid oxygen. I know that much. What do I need to top up? Right. Let's take a new snip. Okay. So we'll grab all the liquid oxygen. And we need... Oh, we need 336 surface stabilizers. So might as well fill up on that.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
I could have finished off the steel, I suppose, and set myself another trip up to that Donuts Gateway. But oh well.
Landing gear retracted.
Ship is released. Take care when leaving the station.
One of the things I love about asteroid bases is they're so industrial looking, right? Like all these like cables everywhere and stuff. They just look like a work site. A guy gets killed by God on accident, gets to continue living in another world that has magic and monsters in it. Set in a somewhat medieval area. Yep, okay, fairly standard stuff. He's buffed by the god to be specifically tuned to the world's magic and gets to keep his smartphone, but he can only watch things from his original life. So like he can only... Okay. So that's an interesting take on the concept. Like the whole isekai into another world and buffed by the god thing is fairly common. But the whole smartphone thing is a nice little twist on it. It uses it somewhat regularly, but not too often. Yeah.
Frameshift drive charging.
So yeah, it is fun when they do the twists on things. I don't mind the whole isekai and then overpowered thing if they when they don't take it too seriously. You know what I mean? Like some of the ones that are just very goofy about it are quite funny.
Warning, temperature critical.
Like I remember there was one a while back, like Aristocrat, another, I can't remember the name, I'll have to go look it up. There was like this kid and he was reborn into a world, and people get blessings from the gods there, and he like if you get a blessing from like the god of like commerce, then you can use like magical storage and you can be a good trader type of thing. And he got, and the blessings come in different strengths, and he got blessed by every single god, all at the highest level possible. And he's just ridiculously OP. He's not 5 fiancés. That happens as well. Yeah, that actually happens in this one too. Like he's only a kid, so like nothing's actually happened. He's just engaged with all these different noble people, including like a princess of the kingdom. You know, like so when he comes of age, he can marry all these ladies.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
That wasn't a request, Alexa. Quiet. She's like, I'm not quite sure how to get you to marry a princess. Huh? But he's just like, this kid in this one is just so OP that he's like killing like monsters that would take an entire S-rank party to kill. And he's wiping them out at like the age of 6. Like he goes, at the age of like 8 or 9, he goes to this like school and he's in the enrollment process, and he's already like a well-known adventurer to like some people, and there's like an A-rated adventurer who's there to like test him in sword fighting, and he's bored as hell until he realizes that this kid Kane is there, and then they just start sparring on this like ridiculous rampage across like the courtyard where all the other kids are going like, oh my god, we're gonna be killed. Yeah. The same kind of thing, right? Like, very similar stories, I guess, in some ways. Oh, well, I overshot that, didn't I? Loop. Yes, we're gonna loop around. Yeah, there's a lot of animes seem to go through like arcs or something where like they have a lot of animes coming out with the same storylines, right? Like, so the whole reincarnated in another world and given special powers and being OP from an early age is a common storyline. One of the other ones I've seen lately that's happening, seems to be happening all the time, is like someone is a member of the heroes party or some S-rank party or something, and then they're considered to be useless and they get kicked out, but they're actually, skills are actually super OP. Yeah, I will check it out at some point. Honestly, I kind of prefer either they don't do the romance thing, or if they are going to do the romance thing, they do it with a protagonist who's older and will actually like sleep with the people. Like, I either want it to be properly adult or not there at all. On why am I going here? I don't need to go here. Getting distracted. What we actually want to do is go here. Move stuff to Hendon.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
I'll see if I can find the name of this other anime that's of similar thing. You'll probably enjoy it. It's one of these ones where it doesn't take itself very seriously. And so I quite like that. I would welcome the male lead to be mature and masculine, not submissive, but I've been informed by a friend that as an avid anime enjoyer that particular wish is hard to come by. I mean, how twisted do you want to go? Because I can recommend one, but the storyline is particularly dark, and no one in it is particularly nice. But he's definitely masculine and dominating. I was actually talking about a redo of Healer there, but, which I have watched, but I do not recommend to most people. That is particularly dark. You read the manga, it's worse. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. You can still be a little bit more testosterone.
Landing gear deployed.
Yeah.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
There is... There is one, I think, actually has, like, sex and stuff in it. The guy isn't, like, the most masculine guy ever, but he is definitely the dominate. He is definitely dominant. Like, he is... Yeah. And don't worry, I'll message you about it. I've got to go to work shortly anyway. Alright, 74%. I haven't watched every anime though. There are some. There are some where the guy isn't like particularly submissive or anything. There's one recently. I'm trying to remember. It's like something about level 2 cheat skills or something like that. There's this guy he's summoned to a world, and then he like to be one of the heroes, but he like has real, like, it's supposed to get like god granted skills when they get summoned across. The one where they bombed the ground station. I have yes. I need to watch it again to figure out exactly what happened there, but I did take a quick look at it. Yeah, it does look cool. Yeah. Alright, Nasiro seemed the one I'm thinking of. I would say the guy that isn't particularly submissive, right? Nasiro? Like, I'm not sure that he's super dominant in any sense, but like he attracts various females and they seem to be a little bit more submissive than he is. If you can get the name, and I'll send you on one that's a little bit more adult as well. This one is like that one they do eventually sleep with each other, but you don't really see anything, or you know, yeah. Anyway, I do need to go to work, so I will have to end stream and find someone to raid out to. This has been a fun stream though. Thank you to everyone that's come along and watched me play. And Ed, Nasiro, and others that have chatted to me while I've been playing. There was also Almondo earlier as well. Not sure if he's still hanging around or not, but thanks to him as well. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, something. I remember level 2. I just remember it was something like level 2 cheat skills or something. Yep. Don't need the one. The other one I was thinking about isn't quite porn, but it's close to it. Though you could probably watch a censored version of it. This one, the level 2 cheap one that Nasiro is put in there, is not got anything all that adult in it. No, it's just the guy's strong. He wants to do his own thing, and like, yeah. What's your game, not your browser? Yeah. Anyway, I need to find someone to raid out to and then go to work. Who have we got on that's on? Let's raid Celine Star Dragon. She's playing Star Citizen. So, you know, kind of the same. Not quite the same as Elite, but very much in the same vein. Alright. Oh, I will. Yeah. Thanks, Ed. I'll let her know. Okay, again, thank you for everyone. I've had a fun time today, even though I've just been trying to build this ground base up. And Raiders going out. Have fun, people.
Hold the strong having an ambulance?
Proximity alert. Vessel approaching.
Wait,
The vessel is hailing.
I never changed. I thought I changed the... Here. Ugh. Welcome in, win. Welcome.